All right, here it is. London Black Porter from Anspach and Hobday in the right glass. Just nitro poured it, the hard pour out of the can. Fantastic looking can. Lovely, kind of minimal, elegant can design. I love everything about this beer. It looks absolutely wonderful in the glass. That head has been sitting for minutes whilst I've been setting up, and it's still absolutely fantastic. Still holding decent finger amount of head right there. Just just a really wonderful looking beer, and perfect in that gold labeled glass as well. So yeah, really impressive. I tried this beer for the first time at the Ansbach and Hobday Archway Tap Room last weekend in Bermondsey, and it blew me away. So this is not my first time trying this beer, but this is my first time trying this beer in the quiet of my shed, being able to think about it and relax and smell it and taste it properly. So this beer took the UK by storm. Obviously, Guinness is the big hype beer for the general public for the past few years, and London Black kind of came in and was like, "Hey guys, remember that porters and stouts originate from London. That's where the style was invented. Yes, the Irish took stouts and Guinness did something special with it, and they've got their own secrets, and they really made dry Irish stout the dominant version of the style that has just stuck around till this day, and everyone associates stouts with Ireland. But there is real history and origination from London. Porters, stout. So Ansbach and Hobday going for a porter is a kind of nod to the Englishness of this style. London Black is a great name, and this is a very great looking beer. So let's give it a try. Mm. It really smells creamy and softly sweet. There's almost a bit of like vanilla going on, really hinted, uh, beautiful kind of chocolatey roastiness, but really softly sweet smelling beer. Bit of coffee as well, but everything is really kind of on the soft edges. There's nothing harsh or extremely roasty or extremely coffee or dark chocolate or anything about it. It's all very soft, really nice smelling. Yeah, it smells like an absolute creamy pint. Exactly what you'd hope for a beer like this to smell like. Looks great. That head, which is just sticking around forever, is a really unbelievable color. It's a creamy tanned color. Just I don't know. It just looks really nice. It just looks really inviting, and also it's jet black. Try and hold it up to any kind of light. It is jet black. So let's give it a go. Yeah, man. Really bosh of a beer, mate. It's absolutely fantastic. It is a high grade porter. There is the roast there up front, of course, but it is held back. It is dampened down. So there's no astringency. It's not overly bitter, and it is way more kind of creamy, and it lends more towards that porter style, which is a little bit more like chocolatey, malty, a little bit more sweet, as opposed to your dry Irish stout, which can be more roast forward in the name, drier. But it isn't anything kind of like a sweet porter, a chocolatey porter, or anything desserty. It is very much competing with that Guinness lane, but it's got very much a kind of porteresque, very smooth, very creamy nature to it. It is really great in terms of a comparison from the can to from the tap room. at the brewery in London. There is a bit of a difference. I mean, you can't expect to get fresh off the tap right on location and expect it to be the same in the can. That pint, if you ever get a chance to go to Bermondsey, that pint is utterly fantastic. It really is just smooth and creamy. It's such a great pint. So definitely go down to Bermondsey if you can and get a pint from Anspach and Hobday right from the source. But if not, the can is fantastic. It is coming through very well. They've got the nitro in there properly. I don't think there's a widget inside. No, so they've just canned straight on the nitro. I imagine that they're using the liquid nitro methods where they douse a bit of nitro into the can and then quickly cap it off to be able to keep that nitro pour. I think that's like the industry go to if they can't get into the kind of widget game that Guinness holds the patent on, etc. So it pours well. It's not quite as impressive as a Guinness pour, but it does pour well and it does taste well out of a can. It's got a really nice kind of subtle chocolate flavor that is leading on that kind of malt edge. The roast is really, really, really soft. It's right on the edge, and it makes me think that they are using a lot of dehusked malts, like your Carrefour specials, to remove those husks that come with that astringency and kind of more prominent roast flavor. So I imagine that it's dehusked, and then if there is any kind of roasted barley in this, it is very, very late in the mash, or they're doing some sort of technique similar to Guinness in terms of handling the roasted barley separately and then bringing that extract into mash separately. So they got the really, really dark color, but they have none of that kind of harsh roastiness. It is actually exceptional in terms of what they're doing on the roast side. It's all of the niceties of that roasted flavor without any of the harshness, any of that astringency. So it is like a super beautifully soft roast character on this beer. There is an edge of tang. It's not quite as tangy as Guinness is, but there is an edge of tang, possibly leading into some very faint dark fruit, but it's really, really on the edge. This one is just an absolute beautifully smooth, creamy sinker of a pint. You can just smash through these. I can see why these are super popular. This is exactly what your average kind of Guinness drinker is looking for in terms of a creamy pint. It doesn't challenge you too much. It's repeat drinkable. It's not too harsh. It's not overly roasted. It's just a really smooth, creamy pint. So they've absolutely nailed it, and they're representing the English, you know, they're representing the English claim on the porter style really well, and something that we should be proud of. They're a craft brewery from London, and they've made an absolutely exceptional porter that is worthy of being up there with the best kind of stouts and porters around the country and around the world. So fair play to them, and I hope they keep growing because this is a wonderful beer. I think if you are a Guinness drinker, you'll love this beer. I think it is like a softer Guinness. It is a creamy, creamy pint. It has ticks all of the boxes that you want from this kind of beer. I wouldn't say that it's like overly indulgent or a kind of special kind of porter or a stout. It's not something that you would save for Christmas Day or something. It is very much like a Guinness style beer in terms of like you could sink a bunch of these at the pub, and it is just like super easy to drink. It's silky, it's smooth. The roast isn't too challenging. They really have just nailed every kind of criteria for that kind of um, Guinness-esque hype wave that's going on. And fair play to them, why not? Um, in terms of like porter, stouts, it's all kind of like a mix up. I mean, porters come from London. A stout porter used to just mean strong porter because that's the origin of the word stout. So it's, a stout is a porter, but then also stout went to Ireland, became its own thing, and you have a dry Irish stout. But then what is a porter? Do porters need to fit certain kind of categories? Is this called a porter, but it's really a dry Irish stout style? It's all going on. But all I can say is that this nails it in terms of a silky, creamy, dark pint. It's not too roasty. There's a bit of flavour going on, but it is exactly what I imagine their remit was, which is Guinness is the hype wave, England is the home of porter. Let's produce an absolute banger of a repeat drinker, a creamy, not too indulgent, not too challenging pint for the masses. And that's what that is. Cheers.